So we've gone and done it. We've built machines that can think, learn, and act all on their own. It's incredible. But here's the billion-dollar question. When they mess up, who's on the hook? Who takes the fall? That right there is the AI accountability paradox, and we are going to dive deep into it right now.
All right, let's start with a little thought experiment. Picture this, a super high-tech, AI-powered sleigh. It's zipping through the night sky, delivering gifts with unbelievable precision. It's flawless. But then, something goes wrong. The sleigh suddenly veers off course and crashes. And in that quiet, snowy aftermath, one single question hangs in the air. Who is responsible for this?
Is it the developer who wrote all that complex code? The elf back in the workshop? Or maybe it's the organization that deployed it, the Santa who said, go, deliver the presents? Or, and this is where it gets really weird, is it the AI itself? The machine that made a new decision all on its own to change course mid-flight. This is the heart of the problem. This is the accountability paradox.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some made-up story about sleighs. No way. This is a very real crisis that's unfolding right now, today. The problem is what experts call the black box of AI. See, when an AI makes a decision, its internal logic can be so incredibly complex that even the brilliant people who created it can't fully trace why it did what it did. And when things go sideways, trying to follow that chain of responsibility, it's next to impossible.
And the failures are already here, piling up all around us. A jury held Tesla liable for a fatal crash involving its autopilot. Amazon had to completely scrap a hiring tool because it was systematically biased against women. An Apple algorithm was giving men way higher credit limits than their wives, even with the same financial info. Meta got sued for letting its ad system hide housing ads based on race and gender. And get this, even our justice system has been caught using biased algorithms that falsely flagged black defendants as being at a higher risk of reoffending. These are not small glitches. These are massive failures with real, tangible harms affecting people's lives and livelihoods.
So what is going on here? Well, according to the source material we're looking at, these failures aren't just simple bugs in the code, they're mirrors. Think about that for a second. The AI isn't inventing brand new biases out of thin air, it's learning from the mountains of data we feed it, and it's reflecting our own deep-seated societal prejudices right back at us. Only it's amplifying them at a terrifying, automated scale. And this creates a brand new, massive legal challenge, something the source calls self-learning liability. New rules, like the EU's Product Liability Directive, are making it clear. Companies are responsible not just for the AI they release on day one, but for whatever that AI learns and becomes months or even years later. So if your AI goes out into the world and develops a harmful bias all by itself, guess what? That liability still lands squarely on your shoulders. Now, the typical Silicon Valley response to a problem like this has been, let's just throw more data at it. Bigger models, more processing power. But the material we're digging into today makes a powerful argument. Better math cannot solve what is fundamentally a crisis of governance. What we need is a whole new way of thinking, a new architectural paradigm. And this brings us to the core diagnosis. The fundamental issue isn't that our AI isn't powerful enough, it's the exact opposite. It's that it is structurally ungoverned. It's like we've built the world's most powerful engine, but we forgot to install a steering wheel, brakes, or a dashboard. We have all this incredible horsepower with none of the necessary guardrails for safe, accountable operation. And this is where the proposed solution comes in. EXT AI. It stands for Ethical, Explainable, and Trusted AI. Now, the key thing to understand here is that this isn't just another product or a fancy dashboard. It's a governance-first framework. It's designed to completely redefine the relationship between us and our machines right from the ground up by design. So how does this framework actually build trust? It's based on 4 core principles, which the source calls gifts. And what's so fascinating is that these gifts aren't about adding more power or more features. It's the opposite. They're about adding strategic, intelligent constraints to the AI to make it inherently more trustworthy. Okay, first up we have the gift of forgetting. This is basically designed amnesia. It forces the AI to let go of data that's irrelevant or could lead to bias, instead of just hoarding everything forever. Think about it, an AI reviewing a loan shouldn't care about an applicant's zip code if that's just a proxy for racial bias. It learns to forget what it shouldn't know. Second is the gift of disagreement. This builds in what's called structured friction, encouraging the AI to challenge our assumptions, not just blindly obey. So instead of instantly doing a risky task, it might pause and ask, "Are you sure about that? Here are 3 potential downsides." It's designed to be a partner that challenges us, not just a servant.
Third is the gift of reflection. This creates governed pauses, giving the system a moment to review its own actions. Imagine an AI managing a city's power grid. Instead of reacting instantly to a surge, it might take just a millisecond to reflect, run a quick simulation, and then choose a much more stable, long-term solution. And finally, you have the gift of conscience. This makes ethical rules a real, enforceable computational part of the system. It's not just a nice idea in a company's mission statement. It is literally written into the code.
So how does this whole architectural approach actually solve that paradox we started with? How does it turn accountability from a bug into a feature?
And this is where it all just clicks into place. The problem of the opaque black box, that's met with a transparent glass box. The huge trust recession we're seeing, that's addressed with measurable ethical risk scoring. And, most importantly, that massive accountability paradox, that gets solved head-on with an immutable accountability chain.
So what does this accountability chain actually look like in the real world? Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a digital body cam for every single action the AI takes. When an AI agent makes a choice, that action is cryptographically recorded and sealed, kind of like a blockchain, creating a tamper-proof log. Then its entire reasoning path, the why behind the what, is mapped out and preserved forever. And what you're left with is an unbreakable, perfectly auditable record that finally closes that responsibility gap for good.
And this leads to a really powerful conclusion from the source material. By building accountability directly into the very architecture of the AI, the problem itself changes. As the quote says, accountability is no longer a moral argument, it's an equation to solve. It stops being a fuzzy philosophical debate and becomes a technical challenge that we can actually engineer a solution for.
And that leaves us all with the single most important question facing this technology. We have absolutely proven we can make our machines powerful. That part's done. But the urgent, defining challenge of our time is this: can we make them trustworthy?